Hello and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, hi, hey, hello. My name is Meg and we do crafty things here. So if you like crafty things, please do consider subscribing. And if you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for subscribing and tuning in to another video. And this week we are back for round 2 of our random Granny Square a Day project. So this will be week 2. So we'll be covering January 8th to the 14th, which is the next set of 7 days within the year. At this point in time when I'm recording this, we are actually past the 14th. However, I haven't finished editing the last video to post it, so I don't know your guys' feedback at this point. So this will follow the same format and stuff as the last one, and if comments come out suggesting different things, we may change it then, but just so you're all aware of what's going on. So if you aren't familiar with this and you didn't watch the last video, I will link it for your entertainment purposes. But essentially we have taken my stash and I have broken it into 4 different boxes, and then each box I have broken it down to 6 different colors. The idea being that we roll a regular 6-sided die and each roll gives us a random color which we have to use to create a granny square. And in the end, we will put it all together in a giant, chaotic, random blanket. Just for funsies. I don't know, seems fun and like a good way to use up my stash. So, with that being said, let's jump right into it. So, I did end up finding a bag big enough to put all of that yarn into, instead of just having a mountain of yarn sitting at the foot of my bed all year. Now it's just in a giant Walmart bag sitting beside my bed all year. You know what? That's enough out of you. I don't even have to physically hear you. I can feel the stream of consciousness coming in that you all are judging me. But I digress. So I did roll for the first 6 days like I did last time, and we will roll for the 7th day together, just because I find watching people like roll the dice for something like this kind of boring. Like I want to see it maybe once or twice to kind of, I don't know, validate, I guess, that they're actually rolling the die. So for day 8, roll 1, we got 6, which I have as, Bernat Carrot. That's this color right on top. Fancy that. Roll number 2, we got a 2, which is, I'm already not sure about this color combo. Super Saver, the rose pink. Here we go. Okay. Roll 3, we got a 2 as well. And that is Super Saver Old Teal. If I remember what I named my own colors. Good job, Megan. Good job. Roll number 4, we got Bernat Yellow Balloon. This was the point. This was the point, friends. Chaos. Because this is a choice. How can I... These two, like... It's difficult to hold the 2 large balls of yarn with the, 2 smaller balls of yarn. It's serving something. You know what? We're just gonna crochet it. I'm looking at my viewfinder in behind, and this orange is coming across a little brighter, which is giving it on the viewfinder more of a I don't know, bright children's toy kind of vibe. But in person, this is very much like a almost, I wonder if I get it closer if it will actually show off the color accurately, but it's definitely like a very burnt orange type color. So it's an interesting color combo, but I am going to proceed like I did last time for now. I am going to do first roll is the center of our granny square, second roll, second row, so on and so forth. So I'm going to go ahead and start crocheting. So row 1 is carrot. You can chat a little bit, do a little update while we're working on this. So how's everyone doing? Hopefully you're doing well. I'm doing okay. Things are a little chaotic as usual, but that is how she goes. I'm working on the first row here, which was our carrot color, because that was, again, roll 1. It's actually really funny that this color is in here because I was actually using it in a different granny square project, and I still have like a ton of it left because it was from the temperature blanket that I had started previously, and then didn't end up liking how that was looking because the colors didn't really work up the way I thought they would. All right, we've got our first row done. I mean, it's looking as interesting as I anticipated. All right, and roll 3 was Super Saver Old Teal. And I was trying to think what I had actually bought this yarn for. And I know I've used it in a couple of projects, so I can't actually think because I didn't think I had that much left from any of the projects. I actually am not even sure which project this was from. It's kind of like if you guys remember when I was doing live streams, I was making a blanket and I was using this like light tealy color in it, and it was one of these things where I was trying to use it up, and I was like, oh, this project will be perfect for it. And then I ended up having to go out and buy another ball and ended up with yarn left over, and I was like, it's literally trying to use the leftovers up and ended up with more leftovers. I feel like that was probably the situation here. I don't even remember what I bought this for. There's a lot of it though, so I guess I need to figure out something to do with it. Okay, so here's what we're looking like so far. I'm actually not super mad. I feel like I should be more mad at it than I am, but for some reason I actually kind of like it. Am I delusional? Obviously I can't even hold the square properly. Like, interesting. Our balloon yellow now. This is such a happy, like, sunshiny yellow. There is a small part of me that low-key wants to make a really obnoxious, like, sweater or something with this. Just for the sake of it being loud and obnoxious, like, no other reason. Honestly, I think it's the yellow that's throwing this off. I think if I had a bit of a deeper yellow with this instead of this yellow, it might not actually be a terrible color combination. Don't worry, for those of you that don't like the chatty videos, I'm not going to do this for every square. We're gonna chat a little bit here for the first one, and then I'm probably going to start pulling the colors, crocheting the squares, and then meeting you back up just to show you the finished square. I haven't talked to you guys in a long time. I feel like we need to catch up. Y'all ready for it? And my janky dry hands. Here we are. That is square number 1. Honestly, I actually really like kind of the 3 center colors together. This yellow, it's like oddly warming up on me. It's like sometimes I glance at it and I'm like, that's actually not terrible. And then I kind of look at it for more than half a second and I'm like, oh. We did have this color combo last week, like the burnt orange and the rose pink. They just come up together and I feel like the tones shouldn't go together, but maybe I've learned something because I feel like this is the second one we've had now that surprised me in how it's came together. All right, moving on to the 9th. For roll number 1, we got a 1. And it was Old Blanket Turquoise. Old Blanket Turquoise. Roll number 2, we got a 5, which was Bernat Robin's Egg. Okay. So far, we're kind of going monochrome. Roll number 3, we've got a 1, which was Deep Forest. Okay. And then our last roll was a 4, which is Yellow Balloon again. I think part of the fun of this, too, isn't just that we're getting random chaos, but it's forcing us to put colors together that I wouldn't necessarily have thought of, and some of them are actually turning out good. I'm not saying this is one of them, but you know, in general. All right, well, let's get down to it. I'm gonna get started on this one, and like I said, I'm just gonna jump to the end so you guys can see the final results of this square. All right, our second square is done now, and I kind of feel a little bit of the same trend for both of these, and that is that Yellow Balloon, despite being a beautiful, bright, cheery color, has kind of ruined the last 2 color combos because I actually wasn't that mad with the like deep forest green and the like robin's egg and the turquoise. I thought they actually looked pretty okay together, pretty good together. And then the yellow happened. And if we could pretend that the yellow didn't happen. All right, but now we've got yellow balloon on the outside of 2 squares right in a row. So let's take a look at what we've got for day number 3. Roll number 1, we got a 5. Ooh, which is the multicolor. All right, I've got it. So the fun thing about this one is this is our only like color changing yarn currently in the bag. Rolling this in the first square versus, I don't know, like the 30th square may look completely different, which I think is kind of fun. Roll number 2, we got a 6, which is Bernat light gray. We got the Bernat light gray. And then roll number 3, we got a 3, which is Lion Brand Redwood. And then roll number 4, we got a 5, which is Jumbo Hot Pink. This one. This is our next color combo. With the like shades of red and pink, it's giving Valentine's. It's serving like Valentine's decoration. The only thing that would make it better would be if this gray was like the cream color or a white color. I don't have like an actual white in here, but like the cream color that's in there would have made this like absolutely a Valentine's square for sure. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna make this square, and then I will meet back here with you guys to show you the end result. Well, I know I was going to wait until I was completely done the square to pop back on, but I got excited because we do see a little bit of color change happening in this row already, which I am kind of excited about. Not much, but it just makes me excited for what's to come. Anyways, I'm actually going to finish the square and then I'll come back and show you guys what it looks like when it's done. All right, so as promised, I am actually done the square, and here we are. Here is square number 3, and I stand by my earlier statement. It's kind of giving Valentine's. Now, if I was actually making something for Valentine's, I probably wouldn't have done gray. I would have done, like I said, white, cream, or maybe even a light pink for that ultimate Valentine's look. But I do think it turned out okay. Now, the one thing I did notice, and I kind of wondered this when I threw the ball of yarn in there, that Lion Brand red color, the Redwood one, the Heartland line, is slightly thinner than the other ones. And you can kind of tell like the clusters, which is, if you're not familiar with crochet, a cluster is what you call a group of stitches together. So this in between my 2 fingers here, this right here, is considered a cluster. And you can see this cluster and like this cluster are roughly the same size, but this red is slightly smaller. Now, the only concern I would have with that is that it could impact the size of our squares. But when I stack it on top of our other ones, it's not noticeable enough to be an issue. Because if any square that randomly had that red color in it was drastically smaller, I think we would have to pull it and sub something else in, simply because it would be too difficult to line things up, sew everything up at the end. But that doesn't seem to be the case. So we're in the clear. That's good. I just wanted to point that out. We're moving on to our 4th square, which will be for January 11th. And our first roll was a 6, which is Carrot once again. And then roll number 2, we got a 1, which is Old Blanket Purple. Old Blanket Purple. Not terribly mad at that so far. Roll number 3, we got a 1, which gives us Deep Forest. I don't think I'm mad at this so far. It's giving very fall right now. I actually quite like that color combo. What if roll 4 gives us Yellow Balloon again? And Rex, another semi-decent color combo going on? I might be a little bit rattled. I'd still go for it though, because like, that's the point. But, you know. I may have spoke too soon. Roll number 4 is 6. And I don't know if this is worse. I love this color. Again, like that bright sunshiny yellow. But number 6 is Hot Green. It's bright green. It may be okay though, because it may go with the other green. Let's see. I don't think I'm as mad at that as I want to be. I think I actually kind of like that. All right, well, I'm gonna do up this square, watch a little bit of Snake Discovery over here, and I will join you guys back when I am done it to show you square number 4. Our 4th square is done, and I actually kind of love it, not gonna lie. I mean, don't get me wrong. It was a very beautiful square with just the 3 colors in the middle, but there's something about that green. I low-key kind of love it. I'm not gonna lie. I think this is my favorite square we've made this week so far. I don't know if it's my favorite square overall, but I think it's my favorite square for this week. Moving in to square number 5. We are coming into the end of our squares here. Let's see what we got. What's cooking? Let's see. Roll number 1 was a 5, which is our multi again. Okay, here we are. I mean, we're purple and pink tones. That's going together so far. Roll number 3, we've got a 1, which is Deep Forest. Again, this has appeared in, this will be more than half of our squares for this week so far. And then roll number 4, we got a 3, which is, ooh, one of my favorite colors, but I don't know how it's gonna all go together. Botany Teal. This is one of those scenarios like we had a few times last week where it's like, this, not super mad at it. It's kind of the jewel tones, because we know we're just going to get this like purpley, like dark purpley pink kind of color, and the purple. We're going kind of jewel tones here. Same as this. Jewel tones, love that together. Don't know how that's really going to look together. That happened a couple times last week, if you guys remember, and the squares ended up being okay. So let's go ahead and get started. I'll go ahead and get crocheting, finish up this square, and I will meet you guys back once again when day number 5 is done. All right, square number 5 is done. Here we go. And as I predicted, like, I'm not terribly mad at it, but I'm not sure that I particularly love the green and the teal right next to each other. I think if they were maybe separated by like the pink or the purple, it would be a little better. There's something about the like undertones of those 2 colors that just clashes a little bit for me. Like, it still looks good, but there's just something about those 2 colors side by side that puts me off a little bit. I do really like the jewel tone square. Now, last time we also had a very jewel tone square. Let me grab that and see what that looked like. This was last week, so we definitely had more of like the blue, pink, purple, whereas this one we've got that green in there. Kind of interesting that we got like a jewel toned, I almost called it a patch, square in each week, like one completely jewel tone in this week, and it's looking like we might get just one completely jewel tone in this week, which is kind of interesting. I mean, it's not entirely unexpected because we're drawing from the same yarn stash and the same yarns over and over again, but kind of interesting that it's only coming up like once so far, once per week. All right, guys, we're coming up on the squares for the end of the week, our last 2 squares. So let's get into what the 13th looks like. All right, for roll number 1, we got a 6, which is Carrot. We've had, this week we rolled a 6 for roll number 1 like 3 times. We had it come up quite a few times. Roll number 1 was 6. Roll number 2, we got a 1, which is Old Blanket Purple. Here we are. Roll number 3, we got a 5, which is Cream. We haven't seen that this week. That's exciting, a new color for the week. All right, I mean, nothing to be mad at there. Roll number 4, we got a 5, which is Jumbo Hot Pink, which we've seen this already this week too. This might not actually, this is actually going to be pretty cute, I think. I'm actually pretty happy with this. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm going to start the square, and I will join back once again like a broken record and show you guys what this square looks like. We have got square number 6 complete, and I actually really like this one. This one is really cute. I'm quite happy with that. I think this might be maybe my new favorite of the week. But this brings us to our very last roll. So I do have my little tray and my little die here, and we will roll together. So for roll number 1, we have a 2. I don't know. And 2 as, ooh, ultraviolet sparkle. I don't think we've used that yet at all. All right, we've got ultraviolet sparkle. And I think, let me just confirm here, we haven't used this color yet at all. So that's kind of exciting. Okay, fresh color. Roll number 2, here we go. We got a 4. 4 is Jumbo Sage Green. I'm not gonna lie, I think I'm gonna get a little bit excited when some of these larger balls get much smaller, just so it's easier to see what's in the bag. But all right, so far, this is what we got going on. Roll number 3. We got another 4. That's not really matching our vibes here, but okay. And our last roll, what are we getting? Another 4. Oh my gosh, okay. Another 4, guys. We have seen 4 already because 4 is Yellow Balloon. I swear to you all that I roll the dice like this every time. And it seems to be these last 2 videos, the last square that I roll on screen has given me like the most rogue color combinations. Let's get to it. Let's do it up. That is the entire point, is to just have a little bit of chaos, a little fun, colorful mess. We'll see what our last squares are looking like. Come back together, point out the favorites, the not favorites. All right, so we've got our final square of the week completed. Here we are. It's just a bright, chaotic mess, and I'm here for it. This is exactly the kind of random chaos I want to see in here. So if we are assessing our squares, I'm gonna say my favorite is probably gonna be one of these 2. Maybe this one. These ones are my favorites of the week. I think this one might be my absolute favorite. I think my least favorite is going to be one of these 2. Like, there's something about this one that it's like, because all the colors are kind of bright and obnoxious, it almost feels like, I don't know, like circusy, like it's meant to go together. And then this one, I feel like the tones inside are off compared to like this. Like, it doesn't go together at all. So I think that's where I stand as far as those go. We'll do a quick rundown. This was square number 1. This was square number 2. And square number 3. Square number 4. Square number 5. Square number 6. And square number 7. If you guys are enjoying this, please let me know down below. If you have ideas for other videos as well, please let me know. I'm still not sure what my upload schedule is going to be. My goal right now is to just make videos where I have the time and upload them when I have the time. Eventually, I would like to get it to a point where it's on a schedule, but right now I just need to try and find the balance to see what I am able to do with my schedule without completely burning myself out. So with that said, let me know your thoughts. If you like this video, please do give it a big thumbs up. And until next time, I will see you then. Bye.